Hello. So we just recently addressed order of operations in class, and so the next logical thing to do after order of operations is to talk about evaluating expressions. So hopefully you're on page 99 in your workbook, and we're just going to look at 2 through 14 even, and then I think I'm going to ask you to just finish this page on your own. Okay, so evaluating expressions. So first let me just say that evaluating, notice that has the word, or it sounds like at least in the middle of it, value, all right? So it's asking us to do something about a value of an expression. Now let's just also pause here and talk about an expression versus an equation. All right, so expression versus equation. Right, so there is a difference between the two of them. Equation has an equal sign in it. All right, again, the beginning part, that root of the word would indicate equals. All right, so an equation has to have an equal sign in it. An expression does not. So in each of these problems, we're going to get an expression. In other words, not an equation. And if we look just at this one, we would see, oh, yeah, here it is. That's our expression. It has some variables, some numbers in it, but it does not have an equal sign in it. All right. So in each of these problems, it's going to ask us to find the value of the expression. All right. So that's what it means to evaluate the expression. All right. So as we look at problem 2, it's telling us what the expression is, a minus 5 minus b, and then it's saying, hey, use a equals 10 in this problem and b equals 4. All right, so we're going to take and we're going to write our expression, a minus 5 minus b, but then here when we get to a, we're going to replace it with 10. So this is 10 minus 5, and then when we get to b, we're going to fill it in with 4. All right, and then we're going to use order of operations to just go through and simplify this. So again, if we remember, our mnemonic for order of operations was PEMDAS. Again, this means parentheses or any other grouping symbols. Then exponents, and then multiplication and division in the order in which they appear, and addition and subtraction in the order in which they appear as we read from left to right. So here, we're kind of lucky. We only have subtraction, and so we're just going to go left to right. So it's going to ask us to do 10 minus 5 first, which is going to be 5. Bring down that minus 4, and then 5 minus 4 is 1. So when we evaluated a minus 5 minus b with a 10 and b 4, we got 1. Okay, let's try the next one. So again, here is our expression. There's no equal sign in it, so it's just y plus 9 minus 6. All right, I'm not going to write the whole thing over again. I'm just going to fill in the different values that they asked us to do. So in place of y, I'm going to write 3. So I get 3 plus 9 minus, and in place of x, I'm going to write 1. And again, I have no parentheses, I have no exponents, I have no multiplication, I have no addition. I only have addition and subtraction, and because they are in the same family, the same category, we just do them in the order in which they appear as we go from left to right. All right, so first comes the addition, then comes subtraction, so we're going to do them in that order. First we're going to do 3 plus 9, which is 12 minus 1, and then 12 minus 1 is 11. Right, and again, kind of if you remember from our order of operations, we get this nice funneling as it just gets smaller as we combine things together. And so here our answer would be 11. All right, now things get a little bit more interesting. Here's our expression. All right, and it asks us to fill in 7 for x and 7 for y, but here y has a squared on it. All right, so this is going to be 7 squared minus, and with x, I'm going to replace that with a 7. All right, so order of operations says parentheses first. We have no parentheses. Then exponents, which means this guy's next. All right, so we're going to have 49 minus 7. All right, there's only one operation left. We really have no choice. This would just end up being 49 minus 7, which is 42. Okay, number 8. Hopefully this one looks fun to you. All right, it says take x plus y plus y. All right, so I'm just going to replace x with 9 and y with 10 and the other y with 10. You might look at this and say, hey, wait a minute. We did combining like terms. Y plus y is 2y. You could think of it that way and just do it as x plus 2y, either way. I'm going to do it this way. And again, they're kind of giving us like easy ones here. We're going to get to harder ones as we get down the page, and you'll do page 100 at some other point and they get a little bit harder. All right, so this is just all addition, so we're just going to go through left to right. There are no parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division. So 9 plus 10 is 19, plus 10, that gives us 29. Now, if you said you wanted to do it this way, which would be fine, we would get 9 plus 2 times 10. That is a little bit more interesting because now I have addition and multiplication. Multiplication outranks addition, and so we would do that first. That would be 9 plus 20, and then add them and get 29. Okay, number 10. 6q. Remember, when I have two things smushed together like that, that means multiplication. And so this would be 6 times, and then q is 3, plus m, which is 8, and then minus m. That seems a little bit silly. We add it on and then we subtract it. All right, according to PEMDAS, we would do the multiplication first. So 6 times 3 would give us 18 plus 8 minus 8. All right, 18 plus 8 would give us 26 minus 8. And 26 minus 8 would bring us right back to 18. Again, you might have been able to figure that out. 8 minus 8. When I add 8 and then subtract it, they're just going to cancel each other out, and we're going to end up with 18. All right, so that would be our final answer here. Okay, this one is a good one. All right, y minus parentheses z plus z squared. All right, so let's fill everything in. So this is going to be 10 minus parentheses. This asks us to fill in z, which is 2, plus z squared, so 2 squared. All right, so then we've got parentheses. So I'm going to ignore this part outside and focus just on the parentheses. And again, once we're inside the parentheses, we start all over again. So are there parentheses within the parentheses? Not in this one. We've seen ones like that before, but no, not here. All right, so then are there exponents in the parentheses? And the answer is yes. So I'm going to rewrite everything, except I'm going to do the exponent. So this becomes a 4. All right, I'm still ignoring that part on the outside because I still have parentheses here. So now it says to just do what's inside here, which is 6, to add those two together. So 10 minus, this is the point where we've talked about before. I don't need the parentheses if I'm not grouping two numbers together anymore. And so I can just write this as plain old 10 minus 6. Again, as soon as I have no numbers to group together, I don't need the parentheses. And then I would just do 10 minus 6, 4. Okay, last one. Y plus x divided by 2 plus x. So this is going to be 1 for y plus 1 for x divided by 2 plus 1 for x. And again, be careful here because it's so easy to just say, oh, let me get done with that part first because it's easy, 2 plus 1. But again, that's not the order that we do things. We have to use PEMDAS. So first we say, are there any parentheses? Yes, there are. So ignore everything outside of that and do what's inside. So we get 2. Since there's no other, we're not grouping two numbers in there anymore, we get to remove the parentheses, and then it's divided by 2 plus 1. All right, order of operations says first we should do the division, not because it comes to the left, but because it outranks addition. All right, so 2 divided by 2 is 1, plus the 1 that we have there equals 2. Just realized I forgot to do that. All right, sorry, I hope you could see that. I think I was a little low. All right, so that would end up with an answer of 2. pause here just so you can write it down if I was out of the viewing screen. Okay, so you're going to do the odds. All right, good luck.